What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. By the way, I know my hair looks very different. I did do a vlog on that, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But today we are talking about the newest polishes from ILNP. They just released their Splash collection for summer 2022. So we've got 6 brand new polishes, all super bright summery jellies that have holographic flecks in them. But if you haven't heard of ILNP before, they are an independent nail polish brand that is based out of the US. They are 7 free, meaning they are free of 7 of the potentially harmful ingredients that are often found in nail polish. They are cruelty free, meaning they do not use any animal derived ingredients. And they also list on their website that they make a conscious effort to avoid animal or insect derived ingredients. You may remember that they recently rebranded, so they still have the same bottle shape, but they did change their logo a little bit. I did a review of that last collection, which was their first rebranded collection, so definitely check that out if you missed my thoughts on that. But I wasn't a huge fan of that collection. I just felt like those formulas did not work for me. But my thoughts on this collection are, well, actually, let me just go ahead and show you the swatches. But before we get into that, I do want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes in a variety of subjects, from creative hobbies to leadership and management, and even lifestyle and productivity. I've been a member of Skillshare for about a year and a half now, since actually before I ever worked with them on my channel, and I just cannot recommend them enough. I actually joined back in 2020 to learn more about photography and editing, but I ended up taking so many other classes as well. I think the most powerful class I've taken on Skillshare that I would honestly argue was life-changing for me was the How to Be Happier Stoicism Masterclass by Ali Abdaal. I know I've talked about it before, but learning the philosophy of Stoicism really changed my mindset on basically my entire life. Honestly, I could talk about this for hours, but I won't bore you right now. I just highly recommend that class. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video during my fun fact. But anyway, the first 1,000 people to click on my link in the description or use my code KELLI MARISSA will get a 1-month free trial to Skillshare. So I will link that down below. Again, I highly recommend it. And thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. So now let's dive into the swatches. Then we'll talk a little bit more about pricing, availability, and my thoughts on the collection as a whole. So roll the footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today I am using the Cuccio base coat. So we'll start off with the shade Euphoria. It's a super vibrant orange jelly base, and it has a scattered holographic fleck running throughout. And I also realized when I first started applying these that all of them actually have a matching metallic shimmer as well. So it's really subtle. It's hard to see individually from the holographic flecks, but it really adds a lot of dimension to it. This is actually what I'm wearing in the intro and outro of this video. I think it's absolutely stunning. It's the perfect summery orange shade. It's perfect opacity in 2 coats. I absolutely cannot get enough of this color. Moving on, we have the shade Poppy, and this is a really juicy red jelly base. Again, we have that holographic fleck running throughout, and then we also have a matching red metallic shimmer. And it's really subtle. It's not like a super packed in there shimmer. Like I said, it's pretty hard to pick up individually, but when you look at the polish pretty closely, you will see that beautiful shimmer in there. And I think it just adds another level of dimension to it. Again, incredibly opaque. I was so impressed with this formula. It really covered up my visible nail line so well. And again, it's just a really bright, juicy color. Feels like a great watermelon shade. Actually, maybe this one is a better watermelon shade because it's pinker, but I don't know. I feel like watermelon looks more red than pink. I'm very confused about watermelon, but let me just move on. This shade is called Playdate. It's a really beautiful, vibrant pink jelly. And again, we have that holographic fleck as well as a super intense pink fuchsia-y kind of shimmer running throughout. Again, that same super opaque formula, really easy to work with, super self-leveling, and I just love the irregularity of those hollow flecks. They really just catch the light so beautifully. It's very prismatic. Next up, we have the shade Unforgettable, and this one's actually a little bit of a deeper color, but again, it's that jelly formula, so it does look a little bit lighter on the nails. So this one is a purple base color, and then again, we have those hollow flecks as well as a subtle purple shimmer, and the purple shimmer in there looks to be a little bit on the warmer tone side. Now, this one and the rest of the polishes actually ended up having a slightly less opaque formula in my opinion. I might have been able to get it fully opaque in 2 coats. I just felt like you could really see my visible nail lines still. So I ended up going in with a third coat, and I really loved the way that that turned out. I know not everybody is fond of 3-coaters, and sometimes I am not either, but I think with delicate buildable formulas like this, I really don't mind it. So if you want the more opaque ones, I would stay in the pink, red, orange family. If you don't mind doing 3 coats, these cooler tones might be for you. Next up, we have the shade Seaside. This is a super beautiful, bright turquoise jelly base. We've got the Holo Flex. We've got that beautiful, vibrant metallic shimmer running throughout. That's again, that really matchy turquoise color. And this one looks exactly to me like the color of a pool in the sunlight. I love shades like this. I love this beautiful blue color with holo in it because it always makes me think of sitting by the pool with the sun hitting the pool, and it's just like all rainbowy and gorgeous. I can't get enough of it. I was able to get full opacity in 2 coats, but I feel like you can still see a touch of visible nail lines. So if you don't like that, you might want to throw on a 3rd coat. And last but definitely not least, we have this shade Staycation, and this one is a beautiful lime green base. And again, we have those irregular Holo Flex as well as a lime green metallic shimmer. And this one was actually the most sheer out of all of them. You can see that in the first coat, it was very jelly-like, very sheer. The second coat did not give me full coverage. There might be a use for wearing it like this, but personally, I liked the way that it looked in 3 coats, even though I am a jelly fan. I just think with a shade like this, it looks a lot more vibrant once you get that 3rd coat on. It still has a little bit of that sheerness to it. It's not totally covering up that visible nail line, but it's definitely giving me great summer vibes. It feels like a great lime color, and I just can't get enough of greens. You probably already know that, but I'll always say it because I love them. And here are all of the polishes together. I really love this color story. I love this formula. I love the colors. I think this is a very fun, skittleable collection. I think that the red and the pink are pretty similar. I would still be able to justify buying both because, as you may know this about me, I'm actually really into nail polish. But I don't think you necessarily need both of them if you're not really big on the pink and red colors. I think you could really just pick one of them. Personally, I think they're both absolutely stunning, and I think they're both perfect to wear on the nails. And again, they're the more opaque formula out of these, so it's up to you. I think they're all beautiful. So those are the polishes, and like I said, I really enjoyed these. I think that this formula ILNP has absolutely nailed. Clearly, jellies are very much in this year, and I am so excited about that because I am a huge jelly fan. If you haven't seen, I've done a ton of videos about jellies, but I think what makes them more wearable for most people is to have something extra in them. And I think adding those Holo Flex and that metallic glitter in there as well just makes the polish a lot more wearable for people who don't necessarily love having visible nail line. And I think in general, ILNP really just does a great job with those little flecks. I don't know any other brand that has the same type of fleck. It's just very different and very distinctly ILNP, and I absolutely love it. So these polishes come in 12 milliliter bottles. Like I said, they do have the new logo, and they also have that soft touch cap, and within that cap, they have a medium wide flat brush, so it's definitely a great halfway point between the people who love the wide flat brush and the people who like the round skinny brush. And those polishes retail for $10 USD on the ILNP website, so I will link that down below so you can check that out if you are interested. But yeah, I'm curious to hear what you guys think of the polishes. What do you think of this formula? Have you ever tried this holographic jelly from ILNP? I remember they have a similar formula from their Broadway collection, which I absolutely loved. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Leave it all down in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. I also have a vlog channel, like I mentioned. A lot of things have been changing in my life recently, so if you want to see what that's all about, definitely check that out. And I also have a podcast. New episodes come out every Thursday. It's not nail polish related, but it's a pretty fun time, so definitely check that out if you're interested. And of course, a huge shout out to my Cosmic Admirals on Patreon, Amanda M, Rocket Man's daughter, and Paula. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Bye. Instead of a fun fact question today, let's actually talk a little bit more about Stoicism because now I've gotten myself excited over it. I think I've mentioned this in a couple of fun facts before, but let me tell you, Stoicism has really changed my mindset on everything. I just want to talk really quickly about the dichotomy of control. It sounds like it's almost too easy. It's like, well, obviously if I could just not stress about those things, then I wouldn't be stressing about those things. But I think it's just a little bit more nuanced than that. One example I thought of about the dichotomy of control, just as a way to kind of conceptualize it a little bit better, is imagine you are planning a day at the park and that morning you wake up and it's raining outside. So I think before I knew about Stoicism, my gut reaction was to be upset about the rain, to feel like it ruined my plans, it ruined my day, and just generally mope around about it. But the way that you're supposed to look at situations like that is think about what's in my control and what is out of my control. So obviously the rain and poor weather is out of my control. So that's not necessarily something I should be worrying about because that's not something I can change. What I can change is my plans or what I'm thinking about that day. So if my plan was to go to the park and read because it's going to be a beautiful sunny day and it ends up raining, I shouldn't be mad that it's raining. I should think, okay, what can I do instead? And maybe I sit inside and have a cozy, curled up day reading by the window and hearing the rain pattering against the window. You know what I mean? And obviously it's a lot easier said than done in general, but I think kind of retraining my brain that way has really made such a huge difference for me. So anytime I'm in a situation that I get upset about, I try to divide it up into what's in my control and what's out of my control. And then that makes it so much easier to kind of plan what I'm gonna do about it. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm sure I'm not explaining it particularly well, but I have done a lot of research into Stoicism and read a lot about it ever since I watched that one class, because let me tell you, it really was life-changing. But yeah, if this is something intriguing or if this is something that sounds infuriating, I definitely encourage you to check that out, just because I do think it's a really great way to kind of train yourself to think differently. That's it for today's video. If you have any other thoughts on Stoicism or other philosophies that you really like, you can also let me know in the comments. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!